Vintage Pokemon card prices are through the roof right now. Hey, what's up gang? It's your boy Jake here, and I am almost through my second month of quarantine, and you heard it right. Vintage Pokemon card prices have never been higher. If you're like me and you're watching Pokemon card prices like a hawk, then this might seem super weird because it doesn't make any sense. We're going through one of the worst global crises right now. How is it possible for Pokemon card prices to be reaching like record highs right now? Well, let's go over the numbers and see why we're at that point. The first reason why Pokemon card prices have been doing so well, and it's going to be a pretty obvious one, but sometimes the most obvious answers tend to be the clearest or more straightforward one, and that reason is supply. Supply is really dwindling for a lot of vintage Pokemon card product. There was a nice little spike of availability like 2 months ago when the COVID-19 crisis started, and a bunch of people started putting up some vintage Pokemon card products for sale just to fire sale them, and those are all gone. Those were scooped up so fast and we're right back to where we started, which was an extremely small supply of vintage Pokemon card products for a large audience who definitely want them. These cards have not been printed in over 20 years and they're still being opened every day. I'm not kidding. Shout out to like someone like PokeRev, another fellow YouTuber who opens Pokemon card products. He opens up a vintage Pokemon card box every single week. Last week, he opened up a first edition booster box, a whole entire first edition base set booster box of Pokemon cards. Like, that's just insane to me. That's like 100 grand of Pokemon card. And people are doing that almost every single day. Vintage Pokemon card products are just being opened constantly, and there's just not going to be enough supply to run forever. And most people who want to have one, they're trying to get them now, because there's not going to be a better time. With each passing day, there's just going to be less and less supply available. The other side of it is, of course, the demand side, and the demand for vintage Pokemon card products have never been higher. There's just so many people wanting to get into the hobby. It's becoming so mainstream, and it's starting to become a real high-end collectible. And that's what you expect to see when, things grow older and older and people start getting nostalgic for all of those things that they didn't have when they were a kid. Kind of like me, I didn't have a lot of Pokemon cards when I was a kid. I'm an adult now, and I definitely want to have those cards again. And it makes total sense. I'll show you guys the numbers right now. On eBay, they just sent out an email recently where they showed off some of the highest sales or growth areas in their merchandise. And one of the area that grew the highest was Pokemon, and it shows that Pokemon has grown in sales by 90% over the last years in eBay. The market for Pokemon cards have almost doubled. The number of people that are in the hobby doubled in the last year is what this number is showing me. I just can't believe it. The supply of vintage Pokemon card products is stagnant. It's not going to grow. There's not going to be any more printing of it. But the demand side doubled. You got twice as many people wanting the same amount of products. There you go. There's your reason why vintage Pokemon card products have doubled in prices over the last year. Twice as many people want the exact same thing as last year, and there's not any more of it. The only way things can go is up. That's just how it works. The last point I want to make on vintage Pokemon card prices is why now? We're currently in a global crisis. Millions of people are out of work. Some people can't even pay rent at the end of the month. Why would now be the time when Pokemon card prices are at their peak? That just doesn't make any sense. And to that point, the reason is the people that are buying Pokemon cards, the vintage stuff, are not the same people that are out of work. I don't know if you guys know this, but like vintage Pokemon card prices have been out of reach for quite a while. A nice first edition Charizard is like 30 grand. A first edition booster box is like 100 grand. Like, Pokemon card prices are so ridiculously high right now. They're starting to reach the point of being like really high-end collectibles, and the people that are buying them are millionaires. They're not, like small rental couples or college age students. College age students might buy a couple of, base set Charizard here and there, relive their dreams, but they're not the ones that are buying these super duper expensive cards. The people that are buying these expensive cards have the expendable income, and they're gonna hold on to these cards for a year. It doesn't really matter if the prices go up or down, they just enjoy the product. I'll give you guys one example. Last month, there was one person on Instagram who showed off like, hey, I just spent 750 grand on Pokemon card collectible, and he proved it. And that's one person. One person spent 750 grand on vintage Pokemon card collectible. Now imagine like 100, 1,000 of those people. These are the kind of people that are scooping up these products. Pokemon cards is very mainstream. You wouldn't be surprised by some of the people that enjoy collecting Pokemon cards. You got your people like Steve Wozniak, Ryan Reynolds, Justin Bieber's. Like, these are the people that collect Pokemon cards. It's not as niche as it used to be. It's such a high demand, a high end market right now for vintage Pokemon card products. But I did say very specifically that it's the English Pokemon card products that are stagnant. The Japanese Pokemon card products are doing super well still. It's a little bit of like an insider secret that the modern Japanese card products do way better than the English one. And it really just comes down to being managed by two different companies almost with two different philosophies. The American or the English Pokemon company, they focus very specifically on printing as many products as possible and having their products be readily available for purchase. That's their philosophy. The Japanese do it a little bit differently, where they understand that there is an actual collector's market for Pokemon cards, and they do cater to the audience. So print run for Japanese Pokemon cards are very limited, very specific. They don't reprint anything, and they do some amazing promos. The Japanese promos blow the English promos out of the water. It's not even close. The Japanese promos are super cool, super out there, and absolutely amazing. I don't even care that they're in Japanese and I can't read them. The artwork are just great. And if you buy something like, for example, an XY Evolutions booster box, it cost you $100 5 years ago. It still costs you $100 today. It hasn't gone up at all. You can still buy an XY Evolution booster box right from a distributor for the same price as they were selling it 5 years ago. And again, that's totally fine. That's the American English philosophy. They want to have their products readily available and constantly in supply. The Japanese products are completely different. The Japanese version of the XY Evolution booster box, it sold at $50 at the time of release 5 years ago, and right now that same box is $350 to $400 a box. That's like an 800% increase in value. That's insane, guys. Like, I purchased silver, I purchased gold, I purchased stocks and bonds. I do investing in all kinds of different stuff, trying to be diversified, and nothing does better than Japanese Pokemon card products. It sounds insane when I say it like that, but it's absolutely true. And I actually consider it one of my safest investments, which is weird because it's a bunch of cardboard. How can it be my safest investment? But it's kind of true. It doesn't really matter what I purchased in the last 5 years that was Japanese product. It all grew. Like, every single last one of my purchases increased in value. I could close my eyes and just buy some random stuff and I would do well. That's just how easy it is. For example, right now I'm purchasing a bunch of these Tag Team All-Stars booster box. Came out pretty recently in November or for the holiday season in 2019. You can get yourself like a God Pack inside one of these. A God Pack would be a pack where every single card is an ultra rare or better. Really unique, great product. It cost me like $40 in November 2019, and right now this same booster box costs like $60 to $70. That's how quickly these prices are increasing. So once again, super easy product, kind of a little insider secret. If you guys want to try your hands at it, it's a great way to get into the hobby at a pretty darn low price, I think. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Do you guys agree with my reasoning for why vintage Pokemon card products are doing so well? If you disagree, just let me know in the comment about why you think prices are doing so incredibly well. But overall, I'm really enjoying the hobby. It's never been a better time to be a Pokemon card collector, and it's just a great all around. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.